back to the second video. The one I have selected here is potentially a really fun photo, I think. And let's go ahead and get it back to baseline with the curve, so the linear response. And it's a little better exposed than the first photo that we did of house finch. And so now with this female cardinal, which I took a couple days ago, May 19th, so about a week ago. So we're really at the height of spring, really almost early summer here, and I love movement in photos. I really do. And it's difficult to achieve and still have the sharpness and the interest that I find with taking photos. So, as per usual, that's just levels and rotation. So we saw it straighten it out a little bit, and then it's brightened stuff up, increased the contrast, dragged our whole middle, well, our whole tonal range into the middle. And so we've got these beautiful reds, oranges, and pinks. And on top of that, it's just tack sharp here, tack sharp. And we've got all this wonderful motion. And so that has taken, it's pretty clear how that occurred. The bird's fluffing as quickly as she can, keeping her head still, and even at a 500th of a second, which I understand is not insanely fast for wildlife photography, especially small bird photography, but that was enough to freeze the head motion, which obviously wasn't anywhere near as much, but still get that actual motion blur in the body and the wing of the bird, which I love. And I also love how she's gripping onto this it's a tomato cage of all things. So we're going to see if we can make this a little more interesting. We've got these beautiful pastel colors in here from the soft lighting and the spring. And there are a few areas where I want to make things a little, I don't know, just more refined. And I really want to see if we can pull out the iris here. If we can do that, it's going to make it a really interesting, fun photo as far as I'm concerned. If we can't, it's nice, but, we'll just see. So we've done our auto adjust. We'll just get rolling along here and see what we can do. Right now, let's see if we can increase our... Okay, yeah, we can't do that, obviously. So we're going to play like that. Bring that up a little bit. Command E on a Mac and Capture One will bring up your exposure alerts. Not that worried about that right there. What I'm more interested in is the slight, if you can see it at all, I'll zoom in super. It's a slight brightening, not really brightening because then we've blackened it down, but it's more, you can see more of the color range, the shadow range, the light difference. So, and you can see also that we have some color cast to deal with in here, so this is going to be a longer video. But all right, one thing at a time. So the most important thing to me is this eye. Let me get my tablet started up here. All right, so there's that. I've switched over to the pen, the stylus, and the tablet. All right, so we're going to start with just the dodge. Turn it up, bring it down. We can just see that iris right there. Okay, so we are going to be able to bring out something. Whether it's going to be something that looks good, I don't know. But I'm not adding a whole lot to this right now. We've just moved it up 2/10 of the exposure stop. Alright, so that already adds interest to me. Adds a lot of interest to me. So, let's see. Now, as always, this is going to look weird as, well, it's just going to look real weird for a second until we play with it and tweak the settings, but, oh gosh, always. Looks so fake and so strange to start. Okay. And a little bit of that pupil that has to come back out. I know it's a little, it's more than a little right now, but what we're gonna do is slide down, hit that dehaze. Not too much, because boy oh boy does that go quickly. Alright, so we're trying to regain a little bit of the color of the iris by doing that. Let's make it a solid 10. Okay, and then what we're going to come back up and do is lower the opacity of that down to where it's an acceptable level of highlight. And that, to me, looking from way out here, is pretty good. Okay, so that's the iris right now. So now we have a lot of other stuff to do first, or now, before this is going to look even remotely okay or good. So that means it's time for a new layer. And let's get our radial mask in to start. Just so we have an idea of where we're going as far as, yeah, I like that. It's a little dark, we can broaden that out. Okay, so what's gonna happen if we turn up the saturation overall? Good things. Alright, let's back it down slightly. And let's back it down a little more. Okay, so that's an 8. What does 4 look like? 4 is where we want to be. Subtle. Really subtle. Probably indistinguishably subtle. Alright, so that eye is looking okay. We may want to do some generalized let's see about this. So anyways, I've done that. I've gotten more used to this overall vignette. So now I kind of want to bring it down somewhere so we're not losing that vibrancy, and then we'll see. This is the interesting part about this program. Anything else, if you jack the highlights all the way down or all the way up, you'd expect to have a far more significant change than if you look at the histogram. I mean, it's a twitch. So it literally is just focused on the highlights. Same here with the whites. I mean, it moves it, but not by a lot. Let's see. Alright, let's get into the colors, the actual colors. We are going to name these because we will lose it very quickly otherwise. Go Okay. No add color cast. For those few spots that have it. Okay, so let's play with our greens first. Do this, I go layer by layer. I use the magic brush. Just click. Calculate it. Okay, so we're gonna click again. There, grab all these greens. That's how tonally, yeah, that's interesting. I'm sure there's a faster way of doing this on this program, but I've just never learned how to do it, so. It's still far more precise than I could be with a brush, since I'm a lot faster than that, so I'm not complaining. So, turn the mask off. Colors. Click that. Run it out. Oh, it doesn't matter because we're only have selected the green. Alright, so that's taking away our really pretty pastel. That's way too young. Okay, so we're gonna be 5. It's pushing a little too hard. Let's take it down 3 to compensate from the broader one. And then make it darker. Okay, there we go. That's better. That's a lot better already. Okay. So let's hop up to the bird. Get our brush again. So it's calculating all this. Okay, getting the reds. So we're getting all that now, all the tans, all the reds. Notice what it's still leaving out there. We're going to get that with the color correction next. So now, let's grab the red. Let's just play with the lightness to start, because that can have a huge, huge impact right away. Okay. Alright, so that's taking away magenta. We don't want that. We don't want to go too orange either, so. But that actually feels pretty good. Yeah, I like that. Okay. So now on the same layer, we'll play with that, which is more specific. Turn the lightness up a little bit on that. Don't really want to do anything with the saturation, maybe. Okay. No, we'll just take that back to 0. Okay. So there's that. Let's see what the saturation on this. Alright, we're going to 0 that out. Okay. So now we have color cast here, 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 here. A few areas which shouldn't matter all that much, but I find it surprising how much it does usually. Okay, so that took that little tiny area. Okay, there we go. It's an incredibly precise tool. It's really really fantastic. All right, so since we're worried about, let's see, yeah, let's grab all that. Since we're worried about green cast, we can quite simply up the pink, the magenta, to the point where the green is gone, which it is. Also make this a bit warmer. More than a bit there now. Back down a little bit. Okay, so it's subtle, but it matters. Alright, so here we go. Off, on. Tiny little thing, but it changes the whole feel. It makes it a whole lot, I don't know, better. Alright, let's see. Let's magic brush. We don't want that. Well, maybe we do. Let's see. That's actually a lot better. I gotta turn this down though. Might as well just turn that off. Okay, and that's that. So I appreciate y'all watching, and the finished product will be on Flickr under my Eastern Birder name. And yeah, I'm gonna run through Topaz and I'll post it up. All right, appreciate it.